Raw opens up. Of course, the crowd's just and it's all thank you, Taker, blah blah. And
best
then,
Raw in probably years.
the best Raw in a year.
Yeah.
It's literally, but SmackDown has killed them all the way up until last Mania. So you open up and it's all thank you, Taker chants, and then you get the and then boy did the atmosphere change.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's probably one of the, even though it's a very short promo, that's probably one of the best you'll ever get in WWE ever. And all it was this is my yard now.
Yeah.
And it's just the atmosphere, because Roman Reigns tried to talk multiple times and just the crowd wouldn't let him. And then it was fuck you, Roman.
Yeah.
I mean, God. And like literally there was that one, I knew he was going to lose at Mania, Taker was. And there was at times I was like, oh my God. I had thoughts of, I honestly thought this was going to end up like Hogan at Bash in the Beach when he joined the NWO. Yeah. I literally thought people were going to start pulling shit at him, and I was kind of disappointed they didn't, because they needed to. He needed that, and that, to me, that's the only way he's going to get over. It's just like his family member, The Rock.
Yeah.
And when he was Rocky Maivia, die Rocky died, and then he got hurt, and then he came back, and he was The Rock, and that's what sold him. He was a heel. Yeah. And it's almost like they're not going to push Roman that route, and to me, they have to.
I don't know why they don't.
Like we've been talking about, and people talk about online, they got to put him with the Usos.
I think
we hate the Usos. You hate the Usos.
You know what's funny? I like them now.
You like them now, exactly. Me too. Because I can tell you how many times like we'd be on the ramp at a live show and they'd walk by and you'd be like, boo!
Yeah.
Like if you could get close enough, you'd have grabbed one of them and just beat the snot out of them. But you like them now, and that's what they need to do with Roman. People want Roman Reigns to go heel, and after this, he's got no choice.
Yeah.
How do you continue to be the face? I mean, unless you're going to be the anti-hero, and it doesn't fit him.
No, they're trying everything to save it. There ain't no saving. And they were like, the crowds are always like this right after WrestleMania. No, they're going to be like that tonight, too. I guarantee it. When they call Roman Reigns, they're going to boo him. Hardcore.
Besides that, there were a lot of good highlights for Raw. Emma returned.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, I love Emma. Not only, I mean...
That song's stuck in my head right now.
Man. But yeah, she come up, she's on the table. I'm like, hell yeah, Emma's back. The only thing was, I was hoping her and Dana Brooke would have joined forces and started attacking the women right there.
You know what's weird? The Raw after Mania was actually really good. You had her back, and we'll talk about some other stuff. And you had Roman getting booed, and you had Kurt Angle becoming the manager, and you had Finn Balor coming back. And then they're going to have a Raw shakeup. It's kind of weird because I was thinking, damn, Raw might be getting back. No, they're having a shake-up now.
We're going to get to that. That was another highlight of the night, the shake-up.
Yeah. And
now you don't know what's going to be, because is it the shake-up? Is this going to be the draft? Or are they going to do the draft in a couple months?
I don't know.
So see, I mean, that's kind of one of the things that's up in the air right now. Tag team everybody likes, the Revival. They finally showed up.
They're great, man.
They're amazing. How long before they win the titles? Even if they're on Raw or SmackDown.
The reason I say this is because, I don't know. It depends on what happens tonight, because if they're stuck on Raw and the Hardys are stuck on Raw, are Hardys going to put Revival over even more?
I can't believe we forgot to even mention that video. That's just how much...
Take it back. Take it back. Rewind what I said. The best moment in WrestleMania is when the Hardys came out.
And it sucks they cannot use that broken gimmick. I want to see the obsolete
The reason
Hardys.
I like this is because they can't use it, but the crowd keeps doing all their chants. It is great, and they will keep doing that.
Well, see, the obsolete song, they should own the rights to that.
Yeah.
So,
Obsolete,
I mean, unless something's happened, but why can't, instead of being broken, they need to take a step further and become obsolete.
Yeah.
The obsolete Hardys.
Yeah, it would sell. But
because he's out there doing
speaking of the question at hand, how long before they win the belts? It's going to be at least, I hate saying this, it's probably going to be at least a year.
You say that, and
I could be wrong.
And Enzo's been around.
That's what I said. That's what I was going to say. They've been around for a year and they ain't won the belts yet. But it's so hard for them to win the belts because you built up Sheamus and Cesaro.
And they're awesome.
Which gives me another point. I love that tag team. They are my favorite tag team. And it kills me to say this. If they leave them on Raw with the Hardys and the Revival, they have to split them up. They'll never win the belts because they're big, but they're not as big as the Hardys. And the Revivals are going to be the heel. And they're not a heel. So, and you got Enzo and Cass. So what the fuck are you going to do? Yeah. Somebody's going to go to SmackDown. And that New Day is probably going over there too. So I don't know.
I don't know when they're going to win their tag titles. It just depends on what happens. To me, man, you could put straps on them that night, and people would have loved it.
Yes.
I mean, but with the Hardys, which, man, I don't know how we forgot you to mention that. That just throws everything to shit in the tag team division on Raw. If they're the Raw tag team champions, I'd imagine they're going to stay there.
I believe 2 to 3 Raw tag teams are moving to SmackDown.
Well,
tonight.
And we'll get to that. The one everybody wanted to see return, Finn Balor return.
Yeah.
Looked good. Everybody was expecting he's been having house show matches. But they gave him the oddest pairing with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that put him out. Found that very odd. I was really hoping that Anderson and Gallows would come out there and they'd beat the snot out of Seth Rollins with Finn. But it didn't happen.
So there ain't no telling what Finn Balor's back. So they got Finn Balor back, they got Hardy, they got Emma, and they got Kurt Angle, general manager, and then they're having a shake-up.
That's right, rival.
But I believe with this shake-up, if they're, man, I don't know what to do because I was talking to Justin Von Doom, and I believe what would be cool is if Raw goes into like this dark show where they trade the Usos over, they keep Roman there, they trade AJ over, AJ and Gallows and Anderson form the Bullet Club or the Club, and Roman and him are heels, and it's ran by, and the Revival stay there, and it's ran by heels.
That'd be great.
It would be epic.
That would be pretty epic. But let's save some of that for the shake-up part.
Because it would work right now, but anyway, we'll save the rest of it, I will say, for the shake-up part.
I like how Rollins and Finn had this stare down at the end of the match.
Yeah.
Like, Finn's like, hey, I remember what you done to me. So, and I'm wondering how they're going to play all that out. But with the shake-up, you never know. But honestly, Raw, you give the highest rating in the world. It was great.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
It was good.
And then you follow up with SmackDown Live.
It's also good.
It was just as great, but that's the thing. You've been expecting that from SmackDown here recently. One thing I wanted to mention, it opened up with a street fight between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. You know I love Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin's got a great look. He's been around a year now, which I really thought he was going to win their IC title at Mania. But to me, their street fight was more like a hardcore match.
Yeah.
A street fight, you should be out brawling in the crowd, backstage, but it was like they're using tables and all those chairs. It was more of a hardcore match, a street fight. I thought it was not a good way to end the show, but boy, did it get way better after that.
Yeah, and I'll just throw this out there because they really got to fight Baron Corbin to kill him.
Oh yeah,
he can really fight. Just on the record.
Well, man, he played football, so I mean,
he's a real Gold Glove champion. Yeah, he's legit.
Had 2 big debuts. The one everybody was excited for. Yeah. Everybody was waiting for.
Yeah, I think both of them was excited.
Yeah. But did you expect Nakamura to show up on SmackDown? I expected him to show up on Raw.
Well, I knew he was going to show up on SmackDown when he didn't show up on Raw.
Well, of course you did. Everybody did. Raw was over.
If they would have had it backwards, it would have shocked me more. But
like I said, with the Superstar shakeup, you don't know where he's going to go.
Yeah.
And then
maybe that's why he didn't fight.
And then you had 10. Ty Dillinger showed up.
He might be somebody we talking about next breakout star. 10's awful lot like yes. Yes. It is. Yes.
I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
You don't like it? Wow.
I wish they'd kept him in NXT. Because he deserved that title.
He did. I guess you're right.
I look at Ty Dillinger on the main roster.
So good, though.
And I see Zack Ryder.
He might be. That'd be sad. I like Zack Ryder too.
I do. What fan doesn't like?
You know who's going to turn into that? We're going all over the place here. Sami Zayn's going to turn into that if he don't go to SmackDown.
You're right, and that's exactly what I was just about to get to too. Or he's going to be like Sami Zayn, because I really thought Sami Zayn would feud with Kevin Owens for that U.S. title. Now it's not looking like it. I don't know. When we get to the SmackDown, there's going to be some shit I think. Yeah, but that is the main thing I wanted to get to. The SmackDown show is Ty Dillinger should have not came over. To me, he should have been the guy to beat Bobby Roode.
So maybe, I don't know. They moved him up off.
Yeah, and that's because he's popular.
Yeah.
But guess what? Zack Ryder's popular too.
So they would have kept him down.
Sami Zayn's popular. I mean,
and then waited 6 months and had him take the belt from Roode, and then have Roode move up first, and then I don't know.
And here's the thing, like...
Damn NXT.
Ty
NXT.
Ty Dillage's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Down in NXT, everything he does is pre-recorded.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a promo...
He didn't have his gear on. His little headpiece. That's cool.
That. Yeah.
Took it off.
Yeah.
Bad move.
But when you're down in NXT, you're doing promos, you can do it over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's recorded.
Yeah.
And to me, he's not that great of a talker. He's not that great on the mic. But now when you're on SmackDown Live, and you have to shoot a promo before a match or after a match, I'm wondering how it's going to go for him, and it really worries me for him. Because
I didn't think about those things.
The fans love him. Like, literally, he could have come out there, put himself in the match with Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, won that Intercontinental, that place would have fucking blew the roof off.
Yep.
But I do fear for him for that reason. And once we get to the superstar shakeup, that's one more thing I'm going to bring up is too many people's a bad thing.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot.
So, also Eric Rowan came back.
Yeah.
That was another return.
His mask was kind of cool, too.
Yeah, it was. It's almost like, an evolution of Eric Rowan. And I hate, between all this we're going to do, that Sister Abigail's not showed up yet. That was the one thing I wanted at Mania. And then there's one thing I thought was going to happen on SmackDown. And then Luke Harper would get back with them because you need factions in wrestling. And that's your go-to faction, right?
Well, here's what might happen. If you're going to do Luke Harper, if you're going to promote him like they are, which is great, bring Sister Abigail in, and it'd be Eric Rowan, Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail. And that's a cool faction.
Yeah, they need that.
The brains, the muscle, and the chick. Or the scary chick.
Yeah. And, Raw's wound up just like SmackDown. It was perfect. You couldn't ask for, except for the opening, which I didn't care for that match, but it was just as good as Raw.
Yeah. I want to say something, because I'm cool about it. I always try to think of this stuff. When Sister Abigail does show up, I think it would be badass if she come out looking like the chick from the ring, and she's crawling down the ramp, and Bray Wyatt climbs out and does this spider climb, and they meet, and they turn around, and they like embrace.
That would be cool, but better yet, I think they missed their opportunity, just like you said that. I think they missed it with WrestleMania.
What if she would have shown up
there? No. He's spider walking at one time down the ring, and where Taker went under, it opens up, and she crawled out underneath him and crawled out between his hands.
Maybe they're going to do that tonight.
I mean, she's got to show up. That's been something that's been going on forever. And you've seen little things with Eric Rowan on like WWE.com with the body, so that's got to be happening.
Yep.
But all in all, SmackDown was great. Just
it was great.
Okay, then right after that we had 205 Live.
That was actually badass.
It was 205 Live, and the last month has really picked it up. Characters have finally established themselves.
It was hard, but they're established now.
Yeah, they're established now. But here is, I think, the thing that really hurts that show. And me and a buddy of mine at work, Jake,
it needs to be 2 hours.
It's not that, but here's the thing, and he summed this up perfectly. What guys their size are known for, guys of every size are doing that now. Flying over the top rope. I mean, you look at Dean Ambrose, you look at Seth Rollins. What they're doing, what they're trying to, bring back the cruiserweight division from the old WCW days. Well, everybody does that now. And like he said, he's like, I think that's why it didn't do so good at first. Because everybody does it.
Yeah.
And, just because smaller guys are doing it, probably do more flashy moves, is not going to help it.
Yeah.
But now that they've established themselves, their characters, it's gotten a lot better. Yep. There's not a lot to cover on the show, except for the main event. You had Aries, Mustafa, Perkins, and Gallagher, which was pretty awesome.
It's sad to me because I love Austin Aries and I love Gallagher, but he ain't going to be. You can't do nothing with him as long as Austin Aries is there.
Exactly, and that's why I think.
And the fans love Gallagher.
Oh man,
and they also like Mufasa, man.
Yeah, that guy. He's really, and that's the thing. Jack, he is taking that high flying thing in his own style.
Yes.
With the umbrella and coming off the top rope, it's hilarious.
Hopkins, man.
Yeah, it fits him.
Yeah.
But one thing 205 Live needs that they're doing this shake up their people. I expected DIY to show up. I really did on 205 Live.
Man.
And they really need some tag titles.
So maybe what they should do on 205 is maybe change it to where maybe the Cruiserweight belt leaves. maybe Neville gets drafted to one of these tonight, and they kind of turn it into more like an NXT for 205.
Who says Austin doesn't get somewhere doesn't get a chance to win that title?
I don't know.
Or put it this way, okay, what if Neville does get drafted to SmackDown? Does that mean you move the Cruiserweight division to SmackDown?
I don't know.
I mean, that would make sense, right? I mean, you're not going to have your Cruiserweight champion on one show when they're all supposed to be on Raw. So, I mean, that's almost like... That's why I think it'd be great just to bring Austin Aries up. Like, who cares if he catches that title?
Yeah.
You know?
Bring him up.
But that's almost like what the Intercontinental title used to be, like the workhorse title.
Yes.
So, but...
205. Oh, also, like, we got to talk... My guy, man, forgot his name for some reason. Tozawa,
yeah.
He's awesome.
He's got over
him and
Kendrick.
Man, what a great rivalry. He's doing all I'm going to teach you this.
And then he taught him that.
Yeah, he taught him. He's like, first class. I love it. I love it that he speaks a broken English and they're selling it like that right now. It is so great. There's one guy I want to bring up 205, and you know he's my favorite, but he got to have somebody talk for him. Grand Malik. He's been on one show,
and then he was on Raw the next week,
and he's kind of like he's out there right now, and to me, we talk about the high flying stuff. He is the best.
Oh yeah, man, I wish he.
But he can't talk English, and I wish he might be able to, but he certainly don't do it.
Well, I know I think he still do stuff for AAA, whatever it is in Mexico that he's still with.
So possibly get him an announcer. And I don't know how you would bring him out all, man. He has to be part of a tag team, but you don't want him to tag team, and then you turn loose a dragon.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
So I don't know, man. He's so good in the ring.
Well, there's no reason why Kalisto should be on 205.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be fighting Baron Corbin and them guys.
Man, they would be a good tag team together.
They would, and then you've got a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But I don't want this... You can't see me, but I'm wiggling my fingers.
Yeah.
And you could put him, Sin Cara, and Grand Malik in a faction.
Yeah.
And then
bring factions back.
You got all these Japanese guys, man, like Chaos, that used to be on New Japan, and you need some stuff like that.
They have a lot.
And then you throw women in there, like Asuka, and then you could throw Naomi or Nia Jax with the Usos and Roman Reigns. They need to do stuff like that. But I mean, literally, 205 Live was just as good as Raw and SmackDown.
Yep.
And then we get to NXT. To me, which we forgot to mention on NXT TakeOver, Drew McIntyre. I really wish they'd let him come back as Drew Gallows. That sounds so much cooler.
I don't know. Maybe.
But that's one thing I'll bring up. Really, the highlight was El Vagabondo.
Yeah, that was great.
Shut your mouth.
The Drifter.
Which that was the end of the show.
Are they going to let him get the belt?
Oh, no, I don't think so. You know what he reminded me of doing that? It's almost very Mizdow.
Yeah.
I can see we're probably this coming week, which it's recorded, which I don't keep up with NXT. But
I watch it every week.
No, well, I mean, it's recorded. Recorded. He's probably going to have something different this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
come out dressed with something different all the time.
Yeah, and it's just like Damien Sandow.
The bad thing is that Damien Sandow, when they had him mimic the Miz, it was great. Should never ended it, but they did, and then he lost his job.
It's a good thing we got to see his last matches too. So
and he was something that kind of. I don't know, it spurred out.
Just never took out. I mean, and that thing just like I was talking about Ty Dillinger. People loved him.
You might have
nothing with him. Rhodes Scholars. Remember how big we was on Rhodes Scholars?
Yeah.
So the only thing I wanted to bring up with NXT is who takes Bobby Roode's spot? Who is the champion? Because now you got Drew McIntyre back, and he signed NXT.
Yeah.
You've got Aleister Black, a.k.a. Tommy End, who we absolutely love. Wish they'd let him do that cutter into the Dragon Sleeper. Pissing me off. They won't do that.
He might be doing that.
Man, they're all because Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Hey, I love Randy.
I do too, man. I do too. And
maybe they wait till he retires.
And then you still got Eric Young with Insanity.
That's great.
I mean,
a new team that you may dig them, but I don't think you do. But I dig them. I love Heavy Machinery, and the reason I love Heavy Machinery is because they're selling AOP to be this big, strong thing. You can't beat them down. They had the best at him. They all went together. They couldn't do it. They can't beat them. And you got this crowd favorite coming up. And for the record, I kind of did a little research on these guys. That one guy actually was a wrestler at Olympic level.
Yeah.
The big, short guy. And I like the bear hug throw and all that, but I don't know how far that can go.
You look like you could be part of it.
It does. Their wrestling is really cool. They come out. They're supposed to, I love the name. I love the way they wrestle. But the thing is, I don't know if they can talk.
No. Well, you had the one of the two big black guys. They look like they were twins. They were huge too, and that's something I could see them building up between Authors of Pain. But like that was my thing. I was thinking like, okay, I was watching Raw. And then I was like, man, that Revival come out. I'm like, man, I wonder who's going to be the next NXT champion. Oh, because you got Cassius now, Chris Hero. He's back.
So we got to backtrack to the next NXT champion.
So, yeah, but who's going to take that? Like I said, okay, Cassius Ohno, there's one. Aleister Black, two, which I don't think he's going to win here soon.
No, he won't. He's a future, though.
Yeah, Eric Young, who's possible. Roderick Strong, we forgot about Roderick Strong. You were talking about him earlier. I mean, you've got 4 or 5 guys that have easily beat Bobby Roode, but here's the thing, you keep hearing talks about them want to build NXT up to like a 2-hour show, it's a traveling show, which it is now, but bigger than what it is. I mean, would you keep Bobby Roode there? Which Bobby Roode deserves a main roster.
Yeah.
He's going. But, I mean, is he like the cutoff guy? Like, after this, do you stop?
I don't know. I think eventually you might, we talking about 205, maybe you add 205 to NXT, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but then you do that, and you don't have...
then you have too many stars.
Well, you have a WWE title on an NXT show.
Yeah, you're right.
And then with this, you still got the UK show they announced. You've also got the women's tournament they're going to do.
So they're doing the UK, they're going to make a UK show, so maybe some of the UK guys that are in 205 and NXT, they move over to that.
Well, see, that was my thing. Then why would you bring Tommy and Aleister Black over? He's a Euro guy.
Yeah.
Why would you not save him for that? I mean, he wrestled ass Tommy End on the UK tournament.
His entrance, his moves, it is so...
So the whole vampire thing when he comes looking, I was like,
man, it was so badass.
And I remember I always told you, like, look this dude up. And now all these guys work, but didn't know who he was. Like, man, you weren't joking. That dude's awesome. Even though he botched a couple pins. But
the best... Man, if he does that finisher from now on, that is my favorite finisher out of every finisher right now.
Okay, we're calling it now. Who takes Bobby Roode's spot? Because they don't have anybody pushed up against him right now that Nakamura's gone. Who wins the NXT title for Bobby Roode?
Roderick Strong.
You say Strong?
Really? You need somebody who can do the mic in the fight. He's not much on the mic, really.
Hell of a worker, though.
But he's a great worker. He's real fast. He's agile. But I like Cassius, but I don't know, man. Like, are you going to put... It's so hard because I know Aleister Black's going to come right up and take it. But it's going to be a while. They can't break him right over. They got to let him beat up people and move up. And then you got, what's his name? He fought him at the pay-per-view. I didn't like him until that fight. CN Almost is a badass.
Have you even seen the stuff they've been doing with him, like on Twitter, where he's more worried about his partying life and everything? He's a good wrestler.
He's a great wrestler, but he has no mic skill.
Well, he's Spanish, Latino.
So who are they going to get? They need to get. That's what y'all need. That's what NXT needs. They need some people down there like Paul Heyman. Don't move him down there, but somebody bring them up. They need somebody, or like Lucifer, Lana. They need somebody for them guys right now.
Well, it's like
because them two guys can't really mic, and they need somebody.
Like Jim Cornette and Bruce Pritchard say, you need managers in wrestling.
Yes, you got.
They really get away from that, but some guys just need managers. And the whole thing was, usually it was just heels that had managers. Well, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, now it's more like women are valets. That's mostly as close as you get. So you're going to say Roderick Strong, NXT champion. Mark Evan, the whole great words here. I'm going to go with Cassius Ohno. I'm going to write KO because I still think that's funny that he's got KO on his tights. And I'm wondering if the WWE has even realized that yet.
I would love Eric Young to win it, but I don't know if they want to put a title on Insanity. But they're keeping Eric Young down. I don't think he's ever moving up. I think
Eric Young is a guy. Actually, I think Cassius, Robert Strong.
Even though I love his little wheelbarrow move he does, his finisher, I forgot what it's called, where he flips a
Oh, we have a neck burger?
I love that move.
I think right now you've got a batch of guys in NXT besides Rude and Asuka that are going to stay there.
Yeah.
I think even think Authors of Pain, that's your cutoff line.
Yeah.
Is Rude and Asuka. And I think everybody else staying there, I think that's what they're going to start building up on stuff with, is right there. Because, which I'm sure most people know right now, there's the talks of WWE buying ROH.
That could change things.
That's going to change things huge if that happens. And at first it was like, no, we want to put them on the network by what I understood. Put their show on the network. And then they come to like, no, they're just going to straight buy them out. And then that's really going to bring a lot of things up. And then, some rumors for NXT based on our everybody kept thinking Kyle O'Reilly was coming.
Yeah.
Adam Cole.
But I don't think them guys are coming because I think O'Reilly, I read somewhere online where he signed.
Did he sign?
I think he signed with somebody else.
Like New Japan?
I think it's New Japan.
But I mean, I think Rude
could be wrong on that.
That's your cutoff line.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very curious to see where NXT takes off after this shakeup because there's still going to be more guys from NXT getting called up.
Because the biggest thing is we was talking about like AOP and Heavy Machinery and then the two other guys. I can't remember their names.
I can't remember their names.
But you got those and you got.
But that's only 8 tag
I know. So right now,
DY.
I think they're going to move them, DY. But when you move them, you got to replace them with somebody.
But who?
So there has to be somebody new they bring in, or somebody, or maybe they grab two of these 205 guys, make them a tag team, and push them over.
Cedric Alexander, who needs something to do.
Yeah.
And
he died. He died.
Man, I know after the whole Leech Fox thing.
And you got Gallagher, and he's awesome. And I really like
some stuff with him and Rich Swann.
I really like him and Rich Swann as a tag team.
Well, because of polar opposites.
There we go. Bring it to NXT. That's your other tag team.
It's possible.
But I don't know.
Okay, so some other news around this time. Simon Gotch got released
He's gone.
with the Bald Villains.
Man, what a great team down in NXT, and they just did not
And that's
sell.
what I'm wanting to get to with this superstar shakeup. Too many people are a bad thing.
Yeah.
So before we get into some people we want to see switched up, the reason I want to bring this up is, okay, you got all these guys. Let's just cover Raw real quick. Just starting it off, guys. Jericho, which he's going to be gone for the Fozzy thing. KO, Samoa Joe, Rollins, Reigns, Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman, who else? Then you look at all the tag teams they've got. Eventually some of these guys are going to start jobbing.
Yeah. You need more, well, like we was talking about earlier, SmackDown needs more tag teams. So if you move the tag teams over, but you got these other guys that came up. You got Dillinger and you got Nakamura on this show and you got Revival on this show.
I mean, but you got a Jobber and Dillinger because honestly, they get the tag team too.
I know it sucks. You know what might be cool if they bring over Sammy and tag team with Dillinger. They become a tag team.
Yeah, but you got to have some connection where it comes from. Another guy I want to compare Dillinger to. Your boy, Cesaro. Got everything you need, and he jobs.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it sucks. They don't push him. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, this shakeup could be. I mean, I understand they will do it, and honestly, if you read the news and everything on, it's to bring AJ over. It is.
Yeah.
Because AJ is something Vince McMahon probably never thought in a million years that he would be what he is in WWE.
Did you bring him
I
over?
knew he was. That when he showed up in the
Royal carry SmackDown like AJ
yeah,
did.
I mean that's the thing though. Okay, let's fantasy cast this shakeup. Give me some guys that go to SmackDown from Raw.
Just because I seen it today, I was telling them about
Oh, you
it.
son of a bitch.
No, I don't know if they're moving. Remember I was telling you I seen like a potential move or whatever, and Raw had come on for like 3.5 more hours. So this is not after this, so people don't think I'm cheating here. I think Enzo and Kaz are going to SmackDown.
Well, there's also rumors they're gonna split them up.
Oh, God, don't do that. They're so big right now, and they have never won the belts. They got to win the belts before you even think about splitting. Well, anyway,
SmackDown is where they get that.
I think you move them over to SmackDown. I think you move New Day over to SmackDown. And I think you move Charlotte over to SmackDown.
Charlotte, really?
Yes. And I think you move AJ from SmackDown over. I think the only way Baron Corbin is going to do anything, I think he goes to Raw. The reason he's going to Raw, the Usos go to Raw.
I think
Roman Reigns stays.
Okay, but the Usos are tag champions on SmackDown.
Yes, I think they're coming over.
But how do they come over?
I don't know. Maybe they'll lose their belts or this. I don't know how they're going to do it. They got to come over. Unless you're going to move Roman over.
I think that's what they're doing.
Now, if you move Roman over, you can't do my whole darts theory. Okay. I think it'd be badass if he came over and Baron Corbin came over, and then you had like Baron Corbin, you had the Usos, and with Roman, and you had AJ in the club, and then you have Finn Balor and Samoa Joe on SmackDown with Nakamura.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
But then again, you got to figure out what to do with those tag belts, and then when you bring Charlotte over, then you know that they can move the NXT chick up like next to WrestleMania, and then they can feud next year. So I don't know, man.
I think Roman's going to SmackDown, and the reason I think that is because you look at.
Oh, we didn't even talk about this. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Not say it.
No, go ahead.
Somebody big I keep forgetting. He's staying on, but they're making a push. Nakamura is going to push up the Miz.
think so.
Yes, because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people talk about it. I want him, because John Cena's going to be gone for a couple months.
Thank God.
Keep doing this. Come out, dress as John Cena, because I don't care what anybody says. The first couple times he did that, everybody thought that was John Cena.
It was awesome, man.
Until he zoomed in. So I'm like, man, keep it going. You build that up so big. Like he's stealing John Cena's identity. He's doing this, and they do a good job at it. So you build them up, and you put him in the title picture. But because him and Randy Orton have history, and then he can get the belt away from Randy. I love Randy. He don't need no more championships. This is probably it. So you get him out of the way, but then you got Bray. We're going to do a Bray, starting with the faction like we was talking about, and then you're moving Nakamura up, and then it'll be Nakamura versus Miz eventually, and one of them, Miz will have the belt, and that'll be the guy he beats to get the belt.
I see, in my opinion, Roman's going to SmackDown. And the reason I say that is you look at the promo with Brock and Braun.
Yeah.
Because Heyman's doing the simple, you know, Brock beat Taker, you beat Taker. It only makes sense that we meet.
Oh.
And then Braun come out.
Dude.
I think they want to build. I think they want to build that Brock and Roman match up for a long time. And I think you put Brock. You got to keep Brock staying on Raw because he's the Universal Champion unless they draft him.
Yeah.
And then that would mean they'd have to draft Randy Orton. And if you keep Nakamura on SmackDown and that Universal title comes over, that red really goes well with it.
Yeah.
But, and I think they're going to build that up for a while. And that'll be like something like at SummerSlam you'll get, or, well, the rumor is WrestleMania next year.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. As long as Brock destroys him. But here's the thing, man. I think you have to make him this monster heel, and he has to start running through people. Just like Brock. And Brock has to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That way they're...
Put him on the collision course.
Exactly. It's King Kong versus Godzilla. You got to put him on a collision course. But I think Roman goes over. I think Enzo and Cass goes to SmackDown. Cesaro and Sheamus, I think they go to SmackDown. I think DIY gets moved up, probably goes to SmackDown. Even though I'd rather have them on 205. One of the women are going to go over. And I'm not sure who it's going to be. Because you got Bayley.
Yeah.
You've got, who's a champ. You got Charlotte. You've got Sasha. Which are arguably, really, that's your three most popular women's wrestlers for WWE.
Yeah.
Not counting Asuka. You know, Becky Lynch is very popular. She's still nowhere near what they are.
No.
And then, which honestly, I'd like to see Sasha Banks go over and feud with Alexa Bliss. I think that's a lot of attitude. And they're both itty bitty.
Yeah. I think that's one reason you're going to have Charlotte move over to SmackDown so she can fight the champion over there.
Well, I think you get Nia Jax over there. That's what I was about to get to. And then you still build her with Usos.
Yes.
Roman.
And here's what I was going to say.
Naomi.
You was talking about this. That would be cool. Naomi would
because she's married to one of these.
She would turn heel.
Exactly.
But here's what.
And you've got that bloodline faction. So then you go back to that.
You got the gold faction. I want to say this because I think it's going to blow your mind. So you got them over there, and they're bad. They turn heel. They hate them. You kind of build up Nakamura a little bit, and then his chance to win the belt, they interfere and they beat the fuck out of him. The crowd will go nuts. They would hate them even more. I also think Seth Rollins goes over. Oh, man.
Well, then you've got all three guys from the Shield over there.
Yeah.
Which that teases fans.
You got to move Baron over if they do that.
No. I think Baron's a good heel to stay over there. But I think you move Rollins over based on the stare-off between him and Finn. And that's something you could build for a whole year if you wanted to make them fight each other at WrestleMania.
So then you leave Finn and...
because Finn stays on Raw.
Yeah.
And you know AJ's coming over. I think AJ's
and you got Samoa Joe.
Okay.
And you got the Hardys.
Oh, look, you bring and then from SmackDown you bring AJ over to Raw. And you're going to get the club.
Yeah.
I think they put all four of them guys.
So you'll have the bad bloodline or the bloodline over there. You would have the club over here. You would also have the Wyatts on SmackDown if they bring in Sister Abigail.
Well, you still got all three of them there, and I think that needs to happen. And then you bring, and you know what? I just thought about something. You do bring over Corbin. You know why? Because you take Corbin, you take Samoa Joe, who's been teaming up with KO, and Triple H almost starts a new Evolution faction.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
because they're the evolution of
Yes.
wrestling.
God,
that's what
that's
you're
cool.
getting right now. And that just dawned upon me because Samoa Joe and KO being together, which I think makes an awesome tag team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the tag team that just walks in, kicks your fucking teeth in, stomp a mud hole in you, and just leaves.
That would be perfect to rival the revival.
I mean, but I think you're about to get this monster heel faction from Triple H just based on them two.
And you got this monster you can't control. Man, I like your mix-up.
And then, like I said, you know who also fits that stuff for Triple H? Put the Revival in there.
No,
you gotta have a tag team.
Yeah.
And then you've got the club running around. And then, okay, well, that's 4-on-5. You could easily find somebody that would fit the club. Like right now, to me, Dolph Ziggler's attitude, if you wanted to do like Bullet Club, he kind of fits what the Bullet Club mentality is what he's got going on right now.
If they have the club running around, and they
Versus
have
this
the elite obsolete running around, and then they have AJ over there, and they have Finn over there, and then you're like, well, what about SmackDown? Then you got the most hated wrestler over there with the up-and-coming superstar and Nakamura. You move Enzo and Taz over there. That puts both shows. And maybe you can use all that talent, since you said there's too much. They're on factions. They might not be wrestling, but they're out there.
But I think you need factions because
that makes it to where you can have that many.
And you don't have to job.
Yes.
Because it's a war. And I think you need that. And here's the thing, you move Enzo and Cass over from your tag titles. Could you imagine the promos being cut between them and the Usos now?
Oh, it'd be great.
That is some mouthy promos right there.
That does bury my American Alpha.
I think American Alpha comes Raw. That was what I was
you need a face over there, and it gives them a chance to get with Kurt Angle, and he does them favors.
He's a guy that, hey, you were in the Olympics, and they're the guys that just can't get a leg up, and Kurt Angle keeps giving them chances because he likes them. And they just got to get rid of them Steiner Brothers leotard things they've got on. Those things are freaking hideous.
They are. I really do think they're badass wrestlers on the ring.
No, I think they are.
They can't really talk.
But you got to talk to also still be entertaining somewhat. But I think those are some guys that come over. And I think...
So what about Sami Zayn?
Yeah,
you got him and you got Dillinger over here. And
he comes to SmackDown too. He's got to. Because I think that's the only way he wins any gold.
Yeah.
And I think you could probably put a pretty good match.
So anyway, we talking about all the SmackDown. Sorry to interrupt you. What the hell are you doing, Randy Orton? He's a champion over there with all this running around.
I think WWE pulls another AJ Styles. I think Bray takes the title from him. And probably come SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Nakamura takes it from him.
Because I do like... well, hold on. If you bring Seth Rollins over... him and Randy can put on a hell of a match.
Well, yeah, you renew that. But man, I mean, here's the thing. You're bringing up all these people. You've got the potential to create matchups you've never had.
Yeah, you want something you never had.
See, and don't get me wrong, man. I like you. I really like Randy Orton. He's great. He's a great wrestler.
You don't need to build it anymore.
But
I love it, man. You don't need to build it anymore.
Like you got him and Cena and Sheamus. These are guys you've just seen over and over and over. And man, you kind of just want them to take a back seat and start building up some of these matches. Okay, think about it, man. Okay, you look at all these indie guys you got over. You just brought Nakamura up. AJ Styles. KO.
He almost got to bring Nakamura straight up to the top.
I mean, you know, you got all these indie guys that you've seen. I mean, look at Wrestle Kingdom, was it 11 from last year? Between AJ and Nakamura? God.
It's bad.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you've got all this chance. Imagine just that show headlining WrestleMania next year. That match.
Yeah.
Blows people's minds.
Remember I was talking about earlier about having like the Raw versus SmackDown take, instead of Night Champions, you turn it to that and you slap it right before WrestleMania. You could have AJ fight Nakamura on
that. That's the way to get some.
And all of a sudden, it's as big as SummerSlam.
Okay, think about it. Okay, so you do that, and all of a sudden you're like, well, who you taking, Kurt Angle? Oh, my next guy's up, Kevin Owens, and all right, you want to make this good? Sami Zayn, and then boom, there's that rivalry for one night. And then you get to renew that. And that's why they do pay-per-views like that. And I think that's why they really need to be real particular about who they put on what show.
And another big name we talked about, and he's kind of died off, is Rusev, because he's hurt.
Yeah.
What do you do with Rusev? Because he's hurt right now. When you bring him back, he's almost a jobber, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, he is.
And man, when he was on his rant, when he's beating everybody down, and Cena's gone too. So when he comes back,
but see, here's the thing.
You got the Miz. And
here's a good thing about Cena. Cena has literally, he's been more happy to take a backseat. compared to what
he can wrestle twice a year and still be there.
He's going to be the next Taker.
Yeah.
But you look at what he's done in the past year, because we hate John Cena. Just for the fact he's forced down your throat for years and years. But you look at what he's done.
I love John Cena out of the ring.
Kevin Owens. And some of the matches he's had.
He's had great matches. Yep.
I remember beginning of the year, everybody was talking about Kenny Omega and Okada.
Yeah.
They've done 6 stars. And then online, they were like, what was the better match, that or AJ Styles and Cena's Rumble? To me, it's AJ Styles and Cena because you got more action in their 25, 30 minutes than you got in that whole hour match. Also, it stayed very confined to the ring. There wasn't a lot of rest breaks in the matches for the guys to be laid out. And to me, they killed it more than Okada and Omega did.
Yes, they did. And that just shows you where AJ's level.
You're right. Especially to the 5 moves of doom.
And what's crazy is actually, I'm going off a little bit, is you got AJ and they're moving him over. But Finn Balor, he won the Universal title and he got hurt. The world really ain't seen Finn Balor on the big stage.
Yeah.
A couple times. So, you know he's a star, you know they got him there, and you're like, wow, you move AJ over there, they're going to fight each other.
I mean, you give him 2 sweet, put him in the club.
Oh, shit, that'd be bad.
You got to. I think you need to, man, because here's the thing.
I know they're going to be a club, but they're going to put them both in there with
why not?
Man.
Why not? Because then when you want to build their feud up, one of them kicks the other one out.
Yeah.
They kick AJ out for not being an original member.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you build that up. I mean,
So, if WWE buys Ring of Honor, there's a tag team down there that I love. They're called the Young Bucks. And they're...
Yeah.
They're not doing it. If they buy it, I mean, if they moved up and this was going on, it'd be kind of cool because, you know,
I'm much rather have the Briscoes.
Or you're getting them too, but
I mean, the Young Bucks, man, they don't want to come up, though. That's the thing.
I'm just saying, they buy Ring of Honor, they have to.
Well, no, I mean, unless WWE wants to buy their contract.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And WWE's pretty good about, like, hey, you can come over if you want, because if you don't want to be somewhere, they don't want you.
It's so funny we did all this talking, we still haven't hardly talked about the Hardys.
I know. There's so much going on right now.
They're the biggest running thing right now. They're insane over there.
Do you split them up?
No, God, no.
I mean, because, man, Matt Hardy on his own, he right now, he probably has the hottest thing in the last 5 years going on.
I think keep them together, at least for a year. That way you can build up the Revival, because Revival, they put them over in a year from now. WrestleMania, write it down, the Hardys versus Revival, that's when they win their belts.
Mania 34, Hardys.
That gives a
whole... So you think the Hardys are going to keep the belt for a whole year?
They're not going to keep it for a whole year. They're probably going to lose it and then get it back. And then the Revival will win the belts at WrestleMania.
Because here's the thing, man.
Because they'll lose it eventually, especially with all these factions happen.
So, yeah, we're talking about that. See, that's why I wish WWE's got fucking money. Why don't you just buy that shit from TNA, the broken Matt Hardy brand?
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's all tied up in legal shit. Because I guarantee right now, if that comes to a big legal thing, I guarantee Vince McMahon will fund that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's our lawyers.
It's crazy. I mean...
and then you go the same thing. It's like, well, why not just... buy into the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
You're the only promotion in the world right now that has never used it in some sense.
Yeah.
Stop calling the club. Fans will buy into it. Well, if we go watch Money in the Bank and you look and there's the club shirt or the Bullet Club shirt, what you want? You want the Bullet Club?
Get the original.
I mean, come on. You cannot watch wrestling, any wrestling show right now, without seeing Bullet Club shirts all out the crowd.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Why not buy into that? I mean, and that's the thing, WWE wants to own the rights and everything, and I understand that, but you know what? You're making stupid money. And the more of these indie guys you bring up, that's more money you're making because that's what hardcore fans want to see.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't even talked about any of the guys that's on small indie teams like Ricochet, look at Will Ospreay over the UK. You know, we're not talking about none of them guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, the WWE has a chance to do big things just with the guys they got right now because there's so many potential matchups that you want to see.
Yep. So you got all these potential good matchups. Hopefully, Shake-Up's good, guys.
Yeah, so make sure you watch that on Raw.
It's Raw tonight.
And, yeah.
But what kills me is if they don't do what we want to do with Roman, that's going to suck.
But you expect it though.
I know. They got to do this because if they do this, it goes huge. And it's weird because Roman, he might want to be a good guy. They might want him to be a good guy. By being the bad guy, he establishes his legacy tonight. If they bring them over and they do what we said, not only will he be a bad guy, he might have the chance to be one of the great heels of all time.
Okay, let's just go over that right now. People that got their start as heels and will be always known as legends. Taker.
Yep.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
The Rock.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
There you go.
So go heel, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you got no choice.
I know they want you to be the John Cena, but guess what? He was a heel too.
That's what I was just about to say. And let's not forget the face that runs the place.
AJ Styles.
No, I was going to say.
He come over. It's funny because they tried to make him a heel and we wouldn't allow it.
yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing I was trying to get with the club logo, man. You put him and Finn on there, and even though they're heels by script, people are going to love them.
But I don't know.
It's like DX.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be heels, but everybody loves them. It's like the NWO. Everybody, who would have thought that the NWO would have been that huge one first?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking like once all these people started joining, just Hall and Ash.
Yeah.
And man, that night at Bash to the Beach, man, booed, and then boom, later on, everybody had NWO shoulders.
Yeah, I'm going to be NWO.
Exactly. Everybody loves that shit. Why not?
Speaking of the heels, because we're going and going, the best heel in the business is Bobby Roode, and he's down on NXT.
He's not the best heel.
I love him. He's so
He's
great.
the most glorious heel.
It's so cool. I've never seen a heel that they know he's a heel, they boo him, but they also glorious every single time. Glorious. Mm-hmm. It's so great.
I wish that's why Samoa Joe would have got an entrance when he first showed up on Raw.
Yeah.
Because man, okay, remember when KO showed up on Raw and how the pop he got?
They kind of ruined Samoa Joe.
That was kind of ruined. And
he's
then
an amazing wrestler.
Okay, think about when AJ Styles showed up. Remember me? Oh my God, AJ Styles!
Yeah.
Like sending you messages. No one expected that.
Yep.
No one. All of a sudden, it got dark. Dude come out with a violin. And you're like, oh my God, Nakamura. And I thought they really kind of screwed Joe with that. And I think anytime these big guys come up, you got to give them that entrance. Even though really what Samoa Joe does is more his style. He can beat the snot out of Seth Rollins. That's more his style. But still, I think them guys deserve that pop from the crowd.
And I know they're putting Joe with Kevin Owens, but for some, in my mind, they would have the baddest wrestling match ever.
Oh my God, man! I'm telling you, the potentials between all these little indie darlings that are in there now is just. And the thing is, like, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's the only ones that fought each other, really.
So factions tonight is what the number one. It should be called factions.
Not shake up, build factions.
Build factions, because if you build factions, you got all these stars and you ain't got to waste them.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up.
I don't want to. But we
need to. This is longer than we anticipated, which we knew it was going to go over. What's going to have the better show tonight? Raw, or is it going to be SmackDown tomorrow?
It'll be Raw because it happens tonight, the shakeup.
Okay.
But hell, I don't know.
But that's the thing. It's got the shakeup, true. But then whoever goes to SmackDown is already going to be set. So that sets the stage for SmackDown the next night. Raw gets a question mark. SmackDown gets a setup.
Yeah.
So which gets the better show?
I want to go, even though SmackDown dominated until last week, I still think Raw will be the better show tonight.
Alright, so you're...
But hell, I don't know. They could leave you with that big ass question mark.
Okay, well then how do they...
And then like if Roman goes to SmackDown, I can't wait to turn it on tomorrow. Because
he's going to get booed if he steps right in. I mean, if they open a show, then he's going to get booed.
Because even if he goes over, actually SmackDown, because if some people go over and they do these factions, you ain't going to know they're going to do these factions. They're going to do it tomorrow.
Okay, how's the Raw? I'm with you. I'm going to say SmackDown. How do they do the shakeup? Is it trades? Or is it just like, okay, who do you want for SmackDown to take someone who you want for Raw? So you think they're going to make trades?
And I just thought about this. If you bring over Roman and he joins them, it's perfect heel stable because Naomi would join them. She has the women's belt, and then you have the tag belts, and then he would eventually get the heavyweight belt. Even though I don't like Roman, I like him as a heel.
And he destroys Nakamura in the process.
Cheats. They cheat bad. They beat him down and they boo him.
Those are out there love it.
And that's what they're going to do.
All right, guys, this has been our first debut episode of Angles and Promos. I'm Justin Bondu, Jamie D.
And I'm Evan the Great.
And hopefully the shake-up on Raw is great. We'll catch you next week.